Hello and welcome to the Ezekiel and Admiral Whiskers Pentecostal Revival Hour. Hopefully, you've all repented. No, really. Welcome to Suspended Fanimation. This is Saturday Morning Blast Off. So, for those of you who don't know what the hell Saturday Morning Blast Off is, and this is your first time watching my videos and all that stuff, I take the genre news of the week and basically talk about it. And anything else that you guys want to talk about genre wise in the chat that I may or may not know anything about. Who knows? That we'll talk about as well. So welcome, those of you in the chat. I see Viking Bitch is there, Andres Marek, Slurmy Scott. I know that we had somebody else in here too recently. No, I think that was it so far. All right. Well, welcome. For those of you who don't know what the hell Ezekiel and Admiral Whiskers is, it's in reference to Doom Patrol, probably the best TV show right now on the air. And it's on DC Universe. So you're saying DC Universe, fuck, another streaming service. Well, you're in luck, since today is Batman's 80th birthday. And it's also Penn Farm Girl's birthday, too. She happens to share the birthday with the Dark Knight himself. They're doing this in honor of Penn Farm Girl, obviously. What DC Universe is doing is you have access to everything Batman today. Well, almost everything Batman, except for the Nolan films. You can actually log in and see everything Batman for the next 24 hours, I believe, today, for free. If you like what you see on the DC Universe, and I don't work for them, by the way, I really don't. I just like what they're putting out at the moment. You can sign up, and for monthly subscribers, they are doing it from the 29th until April 4th. Your first month is 80 cents only. And then after that, I believe it's $7.99 a month. So if you sign up, you get your first month for 80 cents. That's pretty damn good. That means you can watch all of Titan Season 1. I don't recommend it. You can watch the first half of Season 3 of Young Justice Outsiders, which is up there. You can watch all the Shazam series from the 70s. ISIS, Batman the Animated Series, all that stuff is up there. Plus, you can watch the first, I think that'll get you the first 10 episodes of Doom Patrol as well. Because right now they just released episode 7. So you get, another 4 weeks. So you get up to episode 11 there. So there you go. And yeah, where the hell is Fenobi at? I mean, he should be here. What's going on? Is he out at the automotive store again? Slurmy Scott says Amazon Prime lists over 20 streaming services from HBO to tiny services I have never heard of. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there, Slurmy, and believe it or not, a lot of them are big corporations that are posing as small little entities like Epix. Epix is actually Sony. Even though Sony has their own network, their PlayStation TV network and all that kind of stuff, they actually have an app called Epix, which is where that new Alfred Pennyworth, basically young Alfred is what they're doing. I shit you not, he's going to be a 20-year-old SAS agent that has become a butler. Yeah, so... Have you sent him out to do errands again, Viking Bitch? He's on a short leash, isn't he? So yeah, so if you're interested in that, and also DC Universe just announced they're going to be adding, as of April 4th, if I remember correctly, over 20,000 comic book titles. So yeah, over 20,000 comic book titles that you can read digitally, of course. I mean, you won't have them in your hands. But goddamn, that's a lot. So Andrej Merrick, yeah, it is the prequel to Gotham. It takes place in London, I believe in the 60s, in the 1960s. I think it's free. That's why I'm going to watch it, is because it's on Epix, and I believe Epix is free to stream, if I'm not mistaken. So that's about the only reason why I'm going to watch it. At least the first 2 episodes, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be kind of bad. It is Sony after all, and yeah, I'm not I don't think they're going to have lightning strike twice like they did with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So, what's the obsession with prequels? Fairly easy they can't touch the main property because the main property is being reserved for movies. So they do the next best thing is they go to the prequels. They can't go anything into the future either because that, of course, messes with any of the movie properties. So if you go beforehand, before time, all that stuff happened, and you do tangential characters, they're a fair game. So Penny Dreadful is a prequel to that. Penny, not to Pennyworth, not to Alfred Pennyworth. No, Penny Dreadful is a different thing altogether. Are you talking about the one that's coming out, the Penny Dreadful LA? Because if that's what you're talking about, that's actually a sequel to Penny Dreadful, the Penny Dreadful Los Angeles one, because that takes place in the 1930s and Penny Dreadful takes place in the 1800s. You kid. I kind of figured you were, but you know what? I like to beat that thing into the ground, just make sure that that horse turns to dust once I beat it to death. So there you go. And by the way, I think I might have gotten the whole internet thing fixed there. So I recently just switched back over to cable. And when I put in the splitter and all that stuff, I didn't tighten it down all the way. The mic explosion, exactly. I'm pretty sure it's because I didn't tighten down the coaxial cable all the way. I found it was loose yesterday. Yeah. So it wasn't a short. It was just that my internet did a little. It just did it again. Seriously, motherfucker. Well, so much for that theory. Man, good God. It's it might be that I'm going to need to go back to my old mic setup because my old mic setup actually had a powered mic, a power box for the mic. So that might be what's going on there. So, oh well, I won't be able to hear myself anymore, which is going to be the shitty thing about that. But still, what the hell? Nothing like resolving this stuff live during a broadcast, you know? So, I spoke about this already, but so yesterday at WonderCon, they had a DC Universe panel, and a lot of news was released during that WonderCon panel. I was supposed to be there, but I procrastinated, and I didn't buy a ticket, and of course they sold out. So I was going to go. I was actually going to buy a ticket Thursday night, and kind of fell asleep, forgot about it, and I was like, I'll just buy it in the morning. And of course, they had sold out by that point. But anyway, DC Universe has announced that the second half of season 3 of Young Justice Outsiders is hitting DC Universe on July 2nd. Which, if you watch the first half of the season, it's pretty awesome. It's not bad at all. Movie Fanobi, you made it. We were waiting for you. That's why I was just sitting here in silence. So, we'll wait for you to settle in. Hold on, I'll stop and wait. Yeah, we already did all that, Movie Fanobi. We already did all that. You missed everything. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's between the mic and the computer, Andrej Mark. It's that's why I need to actually put my power box that I had for my microphone. I was waiting for you, Stanley Tweedle. That's why I was just sitting here in silence for a little while. So, yeah, so I think the mic's draws a little too much power for the computer to handle. So, yeah, the USB is not the best thing for it. So it's going to need its own power box once again. But that's not a big deal. That's going to be easy enough to fix. But there we go. And well, hopefully I don't freeze up this time either, because I mean there was a couple different issues I was having on the last stream. So besides the normal issues, everyday issues that happen. So what else we got going on here? Oh yeah. So DC Universe also said that Swamp Thing, the live action Swamp Thing, is going to premiere on May 31st. Guess what I'm going to be covering on May 31st? Yes, Swamp Thing. So I'm actually kind of interested in seeing where that goes, how they're going to do this. I know James Wan is the showrunner on that one. So um, DST, is that Discovery? Is that what that is? Stanley Tweedle? I don't know what the acronym is. Sorry. I deal with acronyms like all the time at my work, so I need them spelled out, unfortunately. So yeah, I really do hope that Swamp Thing is as good as Doom Patrol as well. I can do Drax and stand still. Yeah, exactly. I'm not here. I'm invisible. Exactly. Daylight savings time. Thank you. Oh, it starts for you tomorrow. Okay, Stanley Tweedle. We've already gone through daylight savings time like 2 weeks ago, something like that. So, um, yeah, we're already in the future. Yeah, hopefully it's the last daylight. Last year we have to go through daylight savings time in California here because we voted against it and it's really stupid. So yeah, I'm hoping it's the last time we have to go through it. Because quite honestly, there's really no reason for it at this point. Stormy Scott says it is daylight savings time, not that it matters. Okay. I thought it was genre related. I don't know, man. I'm like I said, acronyms for me now. There are literally there's a website at my work that has probably somewhere close to 1,500 different acronyms on them, so you can figure out what the fuck people are talking about at work because people use acronyms all the time, and it's like, spell it out for me, man, because that sounds like this acronym or that acronym. Spell it out for me. Let me know what the hell it is, because quite honestly, I don't know what the hell it is. So, you know what else is coming out on May 31st on HBO? It's going to be Deadwood the movie. That's right. Deadwood the movie hits HBO on May 31st, the same day that Swamp Thing is released. Guess which one I'm covering, though? That's right. It's going to be Deadwood. No, Swamp Thing. That's right. I'm going to be covering Swamp Thing. Yes, I'm not covering the movie Deadwood. I'm sorry. I know people are jazzed about it, but I honestly I didn't catch the series the first time around. I didn't. I love all the actors that are involved. I'm just not. I'm not caught up on it, so I'd be lost on that one. Yeah, I think it is going to be hard to recapture the magic Viking Bitch. They are setting it 10 years later, so I think they are going to have that kind of at least future forward on there. They are going to have that time passed. Oh, speaking of Swamp Thing, he's right over here. He's kind of hiding. He's blending into the DVDs. It's 2019. Get with the program. Andrej Merrick says here in the EU, we will also be switching off from the DST switch. Finally, everyone is. I mean, it's really stupid. We don't use candles anymore. And quite honestly, the farmers have never followed that thing anyway. The cows don't care. So, yeah. Viking Bitch says Deadwood is not for everyone. It's like Shakespeare with swearing. I just love hearing Ian McShane say cocksucker. Yeah. I know. I've heard it's really good. I just, I think I tried watching it when I had HBO at one point in time, and now I have like all the premium packages and all that kind of crap. So, yeah, I will be going through some stuff here and there, looking at different shows. Excuse me. So it's kind of weird. May 31st seems to be a ground point for a lot of different things happening, as is April 5th. So this April 5th, there's a lot of stuff coming out. I mean, a lot of stuff coming out. We have The Tick coming out. We have Shazam coming out. We also have coming out on April 5th, and I just lost it here because I was looking at it, and then of course I looked away from it for just a moment, and what the hell? Oh, there we go. Krypton season 1 is going to be heading to DC Universe on April 5th as well. For those of you who weren't enough glutton for punishment for David S. Goyer, you can, and also, excuse me, Sci-Fi, you can watch Krypton again in all of its glory on DC Universe. Stanley Twill says, "Do you think Swamp Thing will be good? Any indicators for that?" I don't know, to tell you the truth. All these DC Universe shows have been kind of a crapshoot. Titans really sucked, whereas Doom Patrol is like one of the best things on TV. So I mean, it swung completely, opposite of Titans. Young Justice fell kind of in the middle. The new Outsiders, it's good, but it's not fantastic like the first season was. Nothing's going to top that first season. I don't think so. So what the hell? So Swamp Thing, I'm kind of figuring it's going to be in the middle of this. I mean, it's got Ian Ziering in it, for God's sake. So that's kind of a big strike against it, first of all. So yeah. Hey, Pen Farm Girl, happy birthday. You and Batman share the same birthday. Pen Farm Girl, I was stuck on the tech service call with Amazon for 2 hours and got nothing resolved. My Tiamat's Wrath has an issue. Oh, I'm sorry. The Tiamat's Wrath strikes again, huh? I know what it is. I really do know what Tiamat's Wrath is. I'm just having a little bit of fun with you. And yes, this is a good way to spend a birthday. SBO. I know there's an M missing off of that. Everyone goes, well, there's the M missing. We call it SBO. Just go with it. What's in the box? What's in the fucking box? Yeah. Let's see. What else we got going on? Excuse me. Yeah, so here's some big news. And again, this is going the way I've said this before. Now with superhero movies being the it thing to be in, everyone and their mother wants to be in it. So speaking of which, Angelina Jolie is now in talks to join Marvel's The Eternals movie. How do I feel about that? About Angelina Jolie being in a Marvel movie? Glenn Close has already been in a Marvel movie. She was in Guardians of the Galaxy. Annette Bening, was in a DC movie, a Marvel movie as well. She was in Captain Marvel. I want to call it DC because it sucks so bad, but no. Is she the villain in this? I don't know. All we know is that she's in talks. That's all we know. And yeah, Ed Burr, I feel the same way. I'm like, it's Angelina Jolie. I'm like, she hasn't done a good movie in a while, and I think she's just doing it just to kind of get her face back out there again. So I'm not really sold on it. And also, The Eternals is a very, very, very obscure comic. So yes, it was made big because we all know that Jack Kirby was the one that created the Eternals and all that stuff. But still, it's really weird. Wasn't Maleficent decent? I watched it. It was okay. I saw it on cable, and yeah, it was all right. But that was 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that. That's a lifetime in movies. As Rita Farr could tell you, that even 6 months away, people forget your face. It starts fading away. Stanley Tweedle says, I'm converting it anyway. Okay, sorry. Mark says, cable equals low score on the Dennis movie scale. Yeah, well, actually, pay TV is right above cable. So cable is, basically like your normal cable channels or whatever, where it's cut up with commercials and all that stuff. I kind of figure that cutting it up with the commercials makes it better, just because you get a break for a little bit. You can go and get some food, go to the bathroom, and not really miss anything. So that's why it's on my low scale on that one. I very rarely have ever walked out of a movie in the theater to get my money back. I think I've only done it on 3 movies, on 3 occasions. One of them I should have walked out on, but luckily the power went out in the theater, and saved me from having to walk out, and I got my money back anyway. So there we go. Palpatine Dennis. Oh man. Sorry, you guys are talking about everything. Stanley Tweedle says, I like Maleficent too. Not sure why it's so unpopular. It's just kind of average, Stanley Tweedle. It's not that it's not unpopular, it's just average. In the Disney stuff of late, where they're taking their animated stuff and doing live action versions of it, like I heard Dumbo right now is taking a bath at the box office. I mean, just no pun intended on that, elephants giving themselves baths, but I've heard this thing sucks balls and is just going down. And hopefully it's taking this whole, converting animated films over to live action films with it. Because Disney really doesn't need to do that. They really don't. Maleficent was a tribute to adoption, wasn't it? I hope not, because that was, pretty weird if it was. Stormy Scott says, I confess I walked out on Unbreakable. Don't shun me, please. We'll talk later, Stormy, on that one. It doesn't float people's boats. That's it. I walked out on, and this is way back in the day. It was the very last Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor movie that they had teamed up together, and I was in the theater when that came out. And I got up after 20 minutes and I'm like, I can't take this anymore. And I went and got my money back because it was that bad, and for good reason. And then there was an Armand Assante one where it was supposed to be a comedy where he was a detective or something. I can't remember the name of it, how bad it was. And that's the one where the power went out. And I was glad that one went out because it was horrible. All right, let's see what else we got going on. So this week was kind of news slow as I was scraping the bottom of the barrel. I mean, literally scraping the bottom of the barrel for news on this. So I forgive you all, forgive me on this of just, like I said, the news is just really, really kind of this week. And yes, it is a technical term. So, this is kind of an interesting thing. So Suicide Squad 2 is being made by James Gunn, right? Supposedly it's a reboot. They keep, saying that they're not going to use these characters. They're not going to even acknowledge the first movie. But for some reason, Jai Courtney is coming back as Captain Boomerang for Suicide Squad 2, which is kind of weird. I'm like, all right, well, if you're doing a complete and total reboot, then why in the hell are you bringing back his character completely? You should search in YouTube for Snowpiercer Willy Wonka. I don't even want to know what that is. Yeah. But yeah, that's literally means you got in a barrel and actually scraped the bottom. Yes, it does. That's what it means, Stormy. I did. I went to the bottom of the barrel on the internet and literally scraped with a virtual scraper. See? Yeah, he was one of the best parts, Ed Burr, of the first movie. And that's because he wasn't in it for very long. And by the way, speaking of people that weren't in it for very long, Scott Eastwood. Now I know why he had all his speaking roles cut from Suicide Squad. I just watched Pacific Rim Job. Sorry, that's the other movie. Pacific Rim, the sequel one, the one that had the guy from the really bad Star Wars movies lately, and it had Scott Eastwood in it. And Scott Eastwood has a speaking role in it, and oh my God, is he a fucking horrible actor? I mean, good God, the man needs acting lessons. It was like he was reading off a cue card and trying to emote, and you could tell he was trying to do a facial expression, and doesn't know how to make human facial expressions, I think, without looking in a mirror. So they should have actually had a mirror right across from him when he was doing it, because it was just bad. Yes, Pacific Rim 2, the bad one. Exactly, Stanley Tweedle. That's exactly what it was called. Yeah, you know what, Andres America, damaging the bottom of that barrel isn't going to really hurt it all that much anyway. It needs to be damaged anyway. Yeah, the monster coming out of that one is pretty damn horrifying, Morks. Uh, yeah. Send Eastwood to the Shaquille O'Neal School of Acting. You know what? Shaquille O'Neal was an Oscar-worthy contender compared to what Eastwood was doing in that movie. Yeah. I mean, just his general commercials alone that he's been doing, Shaquille O'Neal should get him award nominated compared to Scott Eastwood. Yeah, that's how bad it was. It's it was painful to watch. That's all I could say. But enough negativity on that one. On to something good here. So we just got announcements. Also, like I said, DC Universe did their panel last night at WonderCon, and they announced that Titans season 2 and the new animated Harley Quinn series are both coming out in fall of this year. I don't know if anyone really cares about Titan season 2 at this point because Titan season 1 sucks so bad. But the animated Harley Quinn looks interesting. So she's being voiced by Haley Cuoco from Big Bang Theory, and it's supposed to be kind of a Deadpool-esque take on Harley Quinn. And I guess even in the trailers, they kind of throw a little bit of shade at the animated Deadpool series that didn't happen on FX. Yeah, you're lucky you didn't see the first season of Titans. Viking Bitch, I just say since you have access to DC Universe, watch the first episode and compare it to Doom Patrol and tell me what you think. You're gonna cringe in some spots, and when you can predict the dialogue of what's gonna happen before the characters even say it, like about a minute before the characters even say it, that's how bad it actually is. Yep, yay, more scissors in the crotch. Exactly, Anders Merrick. I'm glad someone else got that one. Uh, yes, Viking Bitch. Scott Eastwood is Clint Eastwood's son. That's why he got the job. That's why he's been getting jobs, is because he's Clint Eastwood's son. He has the name. He even looks like him a bit, but good God, he did not retain. He did not get any of the acting genes in that one at all. Yeah, it's pretty horrible. Uh, fuck Batman. Yeah, Stanley Tweedle. The less said about Titans, the better. It's I really don't even know where to go with that one on Titans. It's yeah, it's Joe Esterhaus bad is really what it is. If it had been written by him, it actually would have been a lot better, I think, than being written by Akiva Goldsman. That's saying a lot right there. So Joel Esterhaus was the one who wrote Showgirls, by the way. Showgirls being one of the most frightening movies ever made. Any news about Axanar and the second episode of it? No, sorry, Andres Merrick. I don't cover the fan stuff, the fan made stuff. I really have no idea. I know there's other channels that cover it, so you can. I'm just dealing with the mainstream stuff. Quite honestly, that's coming out from the big guys and all that stuff. I couldn't tell you what's happening fan based wise. So yeah. Louis Finobi says, "Is this a call-in show? I'm about to drive, and oh god, no." And yes, she already got what she needed. She's out on the couch right now. Viking Bitch says, but doing a voiceover would require Haley Cuoco to act. Uh, Actually, take a look at the trailer, Viking Bitch, and see what you think. I thought it was actually pretty funny. I didn't think it was bad at all. Yes, Lermy, the reason why Clint Eastwood got the spaghetti western jobs that he did was because of Rawhide. They really liked him, and they brought him out to Italy and shot those movies almost back to back to back. I think within like 3 months. So yeah, and then that's where we got the Men with No Name trilogy. No, we've already done that. You don't need to spell it out. All right. So speaking of Doom Patrol, which I have been talking about here, They also announced that there's a character. It's this really weird character named Flex Mentallo from the comics. He is a wrestler who has reality warping abilities with his mind. And supposedly he's going to be joining the live action Doom Patrol at some point in the future. We don't know when this is. But maybe it's this season, maybe it's season 2. We don't know for sure. But I'm kind of interested to see where this is going to go. Already, Doom Patrol is one of the craziest, in a good way, TV show. It has stuff in it that you're not going to see anyplace else. You have I mean, come on. You already have a talking cockroach that prophesizes the end of the world and, of course, is rooting for it. You have a rat that is seeking revenge for the death of its mother. Yes, I'm not kidding you. It also, there's going to be a sentient street that comes up fairly soon. What else have I missed? Nazi puppets. A donkey that has a universe inside of it who swallows a town. I'm trying to think of anything else though that I'm missing here, weirdness wise. But yeah, there is so much stuff in this that you've never seen before that is good, that is done well, that it's worth your time to watch it. A town in a snow globe, yeah, another universe in a snow globe, and yeah, an eye in the sky called the Decreator, and another eye in the sky called the Recreator. Time travel, a little bit of time travel, just a tiny bit. So yeah, it's really well done. Plus James Bond in a wheelchair. Mhm. That's all I'm going to say. If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. Like I said, sign up for the free trial, a 7-day trial. If you like it by, April 4th here, if you sign up for the monthly by April 4th, you get your first month for 80 cents. And then it goes to $7.99 thereafter. So yeah, somehow Ed Brewer, it does all work. It's a very weird show, but it works very, very well. Yeah. So, Stormy Scott says, as the mother of a fat dog whose husband overtreats keep. Yes, I know. I do not give her all that many. She's actually hunting for flies right now because there's flies here, I guess. Is the new Twilight Zone premiering there too? No, it's not, Pen Farm Girl. The new Twilight Zone is going to be on CBS All Access. Hence why I'm not covering it. I draw the line at CBS All Access. I can't do it. There really isn't anything for me to watch on there other than the Twilight Zone series, and I just can't do it. Do you think Seth Susan is a jab at Michael? I don't know who Seth Susan is, Stanley Tweedle. Sorry. Yeah, I really don't know. Oh, Seth MacFarlane. Oh, Seth Susan. I honestly, I stopped watching it. I couldn't tell you. I stopped watching the Orville. I was getting too negative on the Orville, and I had to catch myself on it because I'm not becoming a hate channel. That's what I've already left, and I'm not becoming one of those. So I kind of went away from it. Yeah, sorry. Oh, you're talking about Future Man, Seth Rogen, Susan. There we go. I thought you were talking about Seth MacFarlane's. I don't know why. I think they were just kind of playing around with the name. I really don't think it had anything to do with STD or anything like that. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think that had anything to do with STD. I think they're just having fun with the names. That a future name would be Susan, because in the future, just the way things have been going with. Yeah, it's an inside joke more than likely. It probably is. There's a lot of things. If you watch Future Man as you're going along, you can see that there are bets that are going on in the writers' room as well as amongst the crew to see what they can get into the actual series. So early on, season 2, episode 1, they work the word anti-disestablishmentarianism into it, and they do it. It is a bet. I can almost guarantee you that was a bet from the writers to get that word into the script, because it is a long roundabout way to get that word into the script. So I'm sure Susan is an inside joke at some point in time amongst them, or a bet, one of the two. And I wouldn't put it past them. It's still funny though, even if we don't have the whole outcome of that. If I see him at Comic-Con, I will ask if it was an inside joke or not. So here's a little bit of oddity that I pulled up from some nether parts of the universe. Octavia Spencer and Melissa McCarthy have been cast in a movie that's going to be on Netflix called Thunder Force, which is about two movie stars that get superpowers. Let that sink in for a couple of seconds there. Two movie stars who get superpowers. I believe it's being played for comedy, is what it's being called, Yeah. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, and I just can't. I mean, shouldn't they cast real movie stars? But I'm pumped. There you go. Pen Farm Girl, everyone. She'll be here all week. Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, Pen Farm Girl, is that both of them have been nominated for Academy Awards. Yeah. So Olivia Spencer for The Shape of Water, and Melissa McCarthy for that. What is it? Do you really like me, or something like that? Yeah, Octavia Spencer is a good actress in her own right when she's taking the role seriously. Melissa McCarthy, though, good God, she needs to tone down a lot of stuff and just move on to something else for a little while. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Melissa McCarthy either. Ed Brewer, I'm really not. Yeah, Melissa McCarthy can be funny at times, but when she's playing the same shtick over and over again, that's when she is really bad. Yeah. Pen Farm Girl says, I like some early stuff, but she's had some lucky breaks. Yeah, she has. She is in one of the really early movies that I forgot that she was in. She was in Go, Doug Liman's second movie that he did, and it's in the 90s, and she plays the roommate of one of the people that um, one of the main characters is looking for, but she is in there like early on, and it was like her first role, and she hasn't changed the acting style. It's the same acting style from that first time. Yeah, I never got to see Happy Time Murders, Viking Bitch. I wanted to, and then I heard it was really bad, and I couldn't do it. I had to skip it. Yeah, I know it's going to come out on HBO or whatever. So I really loved Go as well. Stormy Scott. Go is one of my favorites. It has the best car chase scene in it, considering that it's actually directed by the same man who did the first Jason Bourne movie, which also has the best car chase scene in it. But Go is a run for its money as for car chase scenes, and it's because of that man, Doug Liman. I'm sorry, I guess I have dog fights going on outside here. So there's a little yappy chihuahua that lives downstairs off to the side there that obviously is spazzing out over something. Sorry if you can hear that. Yeah, I say the same thing, Stanley Tweedle. Without her, um, it could definitely be just a mediocre movie that would have floated off into obscurity. But I'm just thinking about all the meta-ness of the timing of it and everything, and two movie stars getting superpowers, and it didn't. Yeah. It was very weird. So one of my favorite directors, Jim Jarmusch, is So he works with Bill Murray a lot. I mean, a lot. They love each other in a good way. And I've been waiting for this for a while. I've heard about it. I heard about it a year ago that Jim Jarmusch was working on a zombie movie with Bill Murray, and it's called The Dead Don't Die. And they finally have a release date of June 14th. Now, it's not just Bill Murray that is in on this. This movie has everybody in it. I'm not kidding you. So here's some of the cast lists. So we got Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Tilda Swinton, Chloe Sevigny, Steve Buscemi, Danny Glover. I don't know who Caleb Landry Jones is, but Rosie Perez is in it. Iggy Pop, Sarah Driver, RZA, Selena Gomez, Carol Kane, and Tom Waits in a zombie movie. All I know is that my ass is already in the seat for that one. My ass is already in the seat for The Dead Don't Die on June 14th. And yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, that could either be really good or really. It's Jim Jarmusch, so I haven't. Okay, I have seen a bad Jim Jarmusch film. I can admit that. Um, but he's an art house film director. One of my favorite movies of his, actually two of my favorite movies. So one is Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai with Forrest Whitaker, and I don't like Forrest Whitaker all that much. So yeah, and that was a really damn good movie. And then also Dead Man Walking, which is this is before this stupid Sean Penn Murder on Death Row thing. It was with Johnny Depp. It's all shot in black and white and takes place in the Old West. And oh my God, it's a slow ass movie. I mean, slow movie, plotting movie, but it's a good movie as well. Dead Man, thank you. Great, great movie. Oh, Caleb is Banshee from the first X-Men, First Class movie. Okay, all right. Andrej Merrick says, "What about this pitch? A world where everyone has superpowers since ever, and a new disease breaks out that makes the people without superpowers, and about how people have to adapt to new reality." Yeah, I actually had come up with an idea a while back about in a world where you have everyone that has superpowers, and there's a small minority of people that don't have superpowers, and they are just average, and they basically are marginalized and kind of left to live almost in poverty, if you will, in a way, and how they end up becoming supervillains because they've been downtrodden and all that kind of stuff, and they end up fighting back against their superpowered oppressors. And I was like, yeah, it's too dark. I don't want to do that. I mean, I can get really dark with stuff, but yeah. Slurming Scott says, sounds like you better get a big case of constipation if your ass is already in the theater. No, you can just shit in the corner in the theater, Slurming Scott. They're not that nice anymore. You can use one of the old seat covers to use for toilet paper. They rip off pretty easily now. There you go. And I lose half my viewers right there, right? Actually, I gained a couple viewers. All right, there we go. That's how it works. Oh man! Speaking of people that I really love, Werner Herzog. Werner Herzog is not just a talented director and composer. This man is a talented actor as well. He makes me laugh. He really does. But he's also going to play a very small villainous role in The Mandalorian for Disney Plus, or D Plus as we like to call it here. And the casting for this just keeps getting better and better as it goes along. And I am really looking forward to this because, again, it's Werner Herzog playing a villain. And I really want to see him chew up some scenery, man. I know that's what he's going to do. He's going to chew up a lot of scenery, and it's going to be awesome. So, yeah, 3 hours in a theater, dang. Mork says you're going to need to be constipated for a 3 hour Avengers movie. Come on, man. Morks, people are sitting longer than 3 hours for those Lord of the Ring movies. What was it, like 5 days long? At least that's what it felt like. That first movie, when they said it's gonna take 3 days to go through the Orc mountain or something like that, and I just went back in my seat. I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna show this in real time, aren't they? And yeah, that's what it felt like. It really did. So I'm one of those people that never got into Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry. Uh, just doesn't float my boat. Yeah, I tried reading the books when I was a kid, and I remember saying, "Who wrote this illiterate crap?" But yes, I know heresy. Sorry, but that was me as a kid reading this stuff. And then I went to the movies with some friends to go and watch the first one, and was bored out of my mind because the thing that got me the most about that was you take one of the giant eagles, you hop on their back. I don't care if they're not going to get involved in the war or not. You hijack one of their little motherfucking asses, and you fly to Mount Doom, and you drop it in the you drop that ring into the boiling magma or whatever it is. There you go. Your movie now is only 20 minutes long, and there you have it. So I got that out of my system. It needed to be said. Stanley Tweedle says, "What about the Lucasfilm agenda?" Which one, man? There's all kinds of stuff. It depends on who has their agenda for what. If you're talking about J.J. Abrams, or you're talking about Rian Johnson, or Kathleen Kennedy, or Lawrence Kasdan, you have a whole bunch of different people all doing their own different things. So, yeah. Yes, Stormy Scott. Spy actually wasn't bad. And yes, Jason Statham helped a lot, especially Jason Statham doing comedy. Just the invitation, they hate. Yes, Stanley Tweedle. I will. Yes, I will take the fun out of that. Unfortunately. Yes, there is an agenda everywhere, depending on how you look at it. It all depends on your point of view, to quote the Jedi. Movie Finobi says, some good card chases, Nick Fury, Winter Soldier, last couple of Mission Impossible movies, Ronin, Cannonball, John Wick movies, Terminator 2, Dark Knight. I would still say the best car chase scenes go the first Jason Bourne movie, and of course Bullet. You know, the old Steve McQueen movie. Those are your three best car chases right there. Yeah, Bullet is really damn good. I know Baby Driver. Everyone keeps talking about Baby Driver and all that stuff. No, it's really not that great of a movie. I tried watching it again. I saw it in the theater, and I was like, well, maybe I was too hard on this. And I watched it, and I got about a quarter of the way through. I'm like, no, I was right about this, and I turned it off. So, this is an interesting one. So everyone knows who Tom Hopper is, right? He played Lucas on Umbrella Academy. So he has joined the cast for a sequel to one of my favorite movies of last year, which is The Hitman's Bodyguard. Actually, not even last year, it was the year before. So Hitman's Bodyguard starred Ryan Reynolds and Samuel Jackson and Selma Hayek. I've talked about this before, how much I love this movie. But this movie's cast is actually rivaling. There we go. Rivaling this whole cast with The Dead Don't Die, Jim Jarmusch's. So we have, not only do we have now Tom Hopper on here, and Ryan Reynolds, and Samuel Jackson, and Selma Hayek, but we also have Richard E. Grant, Morgan Freeman, Antonio Banderas, and Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo, who played Crossbones, of course, in the Marvel movies. And I'm actually looking forward to this thing because it honestly is a lot of fun. It really is. You can tell they're having fun while they're doing it, and it's an outrageous storyline. So, Lord of the Rings villains. Pen Farm Girl says, I thought Herzog was retired or dead. My ex looked like him in his younger days. No, Herzog is still alive and working. Yeah, he's awesome. He's not going to quit until he's dead, more than likely. Morg says Baby Driver was original in how they sync the chase to the music. He was hearing, but it wasn't intense. No, it wasn't. It was yeah. See ya, movie Fanobi. Glad you went and supported all that, child labor stuff by buying stuff at Walmart. But yeah, Werner Herzog is awesome. He did a mockumentary with Zach Penn, the guy who wrote a couple of the X-Men movies, and it was a search for the Loch Ness Monster, and he actually stars in it too. And it's one of those like found footage kind of movies where they're shooting the documentary at the same time, and then someone had found the tape later on. It is one of the funniest things you will ever see. I unfortunately don't know what the title of it is, but yeah, it's an awesome, awesome movie. Yes, he was. Herzog was a guest on the animated series The Boondocks, Joan Greer. Yes, he's in everything, quite honestly, and he's talented. That's the whole thing. He directs, he writes, he does music scores, he acts. He is one of the great unsung heroes, I guess you could say, of modern cinema. And yeah. Stanley Tweedle says, I laughed my ass off when he appeared in Rick and Morty. I know, like I said, this guy is in everything. He really is. And if you can get Herner Wurzlog to be in your show, in your movie, or something like that for a little bit, you know that you've actually, if you've gotten his attention where he is going to appear in your thing, that is probably one of the highest praises you can ever get. Quite honestly. So, yeah. And yeah, he's had he has misses as well as everyone else. Okay, wasn't he in the first Jack Reacher? He may have been, right? Joe Greer. He might have just walked by on set and they said, "Oh, there's Werner Herzog. Get him in the shot. Hurry up, roll." Because I don't know if he was in there purposely or not. Yeah, the Boondocks was a good show. Boondocks is pretty damn funny. Was pretty damn funny, I should say, since it's no longer on the air. So Andrej Marek says, so far, favorite is probably Happy People of the Taga. I haven't seen that one. That's right, Stanley Tweedle. He did make the first Handmaid's Tale movie. I forgot about that. Yeah, I got to go back and take a look at a lot of his movie filmography, if you will, and see what he's made and just kind of go through and look at some more of that stuff. So everyone remember that movie that was supposed to come out called The New Mutants? That's supposed to be based on the X-Men that has gone through different iterations here. First it was supposed to be like New Mutants, and they said, oh, it's going to be a horror superhero movie. Now we don't know because they removed it from the schedule as to when it's going to come out. Now the release is in doubt completely because all the scheduled reshoots that were supposed to happen haven't happened. None of the actors have heard when they're going to be rescheduled to do their reshoots or if they're going to be rescheduled to do the reshoots at all. So no one's heard anything from any of the producers, the director, or any of that kind of stuff, or the studio, considering now it's Fox. And yes, the Phoenix movie is still coming out. No one's excited about it. I guess they just premiered it last night at WonderCon, and it was kind of cryptic. They said it was kind of a weird article. I just read the title really quick, and I couldn't get a sense of whether or not people liked it or not. I'm not hearing anything about it on Twitter. I'm not seeing anything about it on Twitter. So I don't know if it was good or not. You know, it's yeah. Klaus creeps me out as a kid. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. So this whole New Mutants thing might not be coming out, and especially now that the Disney Fox deal is done, and who knows what Marvel wants to do, how they want to fold the X Men back into the Marvel universe, the MCU, if they're going to do it. Um, so my prediction for Avengers Endgame, and you can cover your ears right now if you don't want to hear what my prediction is. But I think Thanos is going to die not once, not twice, but three times during this movie, all from different people because of timeline manipulation. Why? So we have all your alternate endings that you can have. That's what they're going to do. Joker the Third says, "I read it showing up somewhere that's showing up on a streaming service." I can see that New Mutants would show up on a streaming service. Three is always the magic number, Stanley Tweedle. It's not 42 like you've heard. It's actually three. Scopola right by Viking Bitch says, I have a hard enough time getting my own shit together, let alone trying to control someone else. Oh, okay. Talking about movie fandom. Got it. Mork says, my prediction for Endgame is that Captain Marvel isn't killing Thanos. If she was the one, then why did Doctor Strange save Tony? And again, I'm going to say that time travel is going to be a part of it. And I believe Captain Marvel will be killing Thanos in one of those iterations. So there you have your Avengers, because they've avenged the death of all the people in the universe, the half the people in the universe. And that's what she's going to do. Then we're going to have a timeline reset. And I believe it's going to be Cap that sacrifices himself for to do this. And then we're going to have another timeline reset. And then we're going to have somebody else do it all together. Yeah. Oh, okay. Pen Farm Girl said, I think I confused Herzog with Klaus Kinski about the death. Stupid mistake. They're both connected. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Klaus Kinski, different person, but yes. Herzog is awesome. Be patient, children. Soon all will be revealed within game. Yes, Strange did say one out of 14 million. Wasn't it 14 million and 17 or something like that? It was some kind of weird number. But and it's all because of Ant-Man. That's all I'm going to say is because it's I'm looking at the tea leaves is what I'm looking at. One Punch Man or Captain Marvel? Depends on who's writing a montage, Merrick. To tell you the truth. It really does. It depends on who's writing it. I learned that early on in the comic book store, never to get into that question, who's stronger, Superman or the Hulk, because it all depends on who in the hell's writing it. It really does. Um, Stanley Tweedle says that pretty much the odds for the lotto 6 of 49. Weird. Okay. Pen Farm Girl says, I'm just hoping they give us a good story in Endgame. Yeah, I mean, for 3 hours, I'm pretty sure it's going to be good. I hope it's not Captain Marvel where you have 7 different script writers because, good God, that sucked. Joker the Third says, Dennis, is Thanos the only big bad? I don't know, to tell you the truth. I mean, we were introduced to Adam Warlock's Chrysalis, and who knows? Galactus. I don't think Galactus is going to show up. To tell you the truth, Stanley Tweedle, I really don't. Yeah. Anders Merrick says result of Hulk versus Captain Marvel matchup would depend on if Captain Marvel was allowed to speak beforehand. uh, you mean if she was allowed to lull him to sleep by speaking? Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think so. But let's see what else I got going on here. Um. Oh yeah, there we go. So I got two more things here. Let's see, which one do I want to go with and end with? Going back and forth, back and forth. You've won. So Runaways has been renewed for season 3 at Hulu, and they will quote unquote deepen ties with the Marvel Universe in season 3. What that means is anyone's guess, because quite honestly, I stopped after episode 2 of Marvel's Runaways on season 2 because it was boring. And I heard it gets better near the end of season 2, but oh my god. Yeah, I mean, there's 13 episodes in season 2, and I've got to finish it out. But season 3 is only going to have 10 episodes. Blissfully, they've shortened it a bit. Usually, what that means, and again, this is Jeff Loeb who is running this one as well. And they do this with all of Jeff Loeb's shows, his Marvel-based shows, is they shorten them from 13 episodes, which you can always tell there's padded episodes. There's like at least 4 padded episodes in there. And then they shortened them down to 10. They did this with Netflix, his Netflix series. Don't be surprised if you see it with Cloak and Dagger happening again, because Cloak and Dagger has season 2 coming out as well. And now they've done it with Runaways. So, yeah, I'm. It's one of those things I'm just not looking forward to. I don't know. It's. I know there's a lot of people that like the show, but yeah, I'm not. I'm not a big fan of it. Andres Merrick says, and Ant-Man can crawl up anyone and just expand. Yeah. That was a Reddit theory. It was that Ant-Man was going to crawl up Thanos' butt and just expand himself and just pop him from the inside. I was like, that's disgusting, one. And two, I don't think they're really going to do that. Yeah. So, just disgusting. Yeah. Pen Farm Girl says, didn't see CM, don't want to. I hope she doesn't ruin Endgame. Not a hater, just she's the new kid. Yeah. You're not missing much, Pen Farm Girl. There really wasn't anything added to the whole thing except the stupid way that Nick Fury loses his eye. That's pretty much all it was, and it just pissed off a lot of people because of the stupid way he loses his eye. And yeah, it just really is stupid. Well, since you're all talking about it right now, anyway, in the chat here, speaking of Starship Troopers, and this is my last little bit of news that I've got going on here, Jake Busey and Casper Van Dien have both talked to Ed Neumeyer, who was the scriptwriter for the original movie, the first movie. And Ed Neumeyer is actually making a Starship Troopers TV show. And Jake Busey and Casper Van Dien are both going to be in it. They're going to be the old men, of course. So that is a go right now. We don't know where it's going to be at, but they are working on it right now. And Jake Busey has confirmed that both he and Casper Van Dien are going to be in it because they're not doing anything else at the moment. They are both, their 40s, their late 40s. So, yeah, hopefully it's not. Well, Ed Neumeyer was not involved in any of the sequels. So there we go. And also, Ed Neumeyer is writing the sequel. He already wrote the sequel to RoboCop. So it's supposed to be literally RoboCop 2. It takes place after RoboCop 1, and they are working on that one as well as a movie. Unfortunately, Peter Weller is not going to be coming back. He has no interest in, and I don't blame him. He's too old to be doing that. Yeah, the first movie was really good. Um, will Doogie Hitler come back? I don't know. He might. I mean, if they throw enough money at him, he'll probably make a cameo. Mm. Stormy Scott says, I don't try to make sense of the plots of Avengers or Valerian or Jupiter Ascending. Just put the brain in neutral and enjoy. Yeah, I tried doing that, Stormy Scott. I've tried just kind of removing my brain and sitting on the seat next to me with a little bucket of popcorn, on its own. And still, when there's a movie that's really bad, I can't do it. Is Denise Richards doing anything? Yes, she is. She just made her debut on, I want to say, The Bold and the Beautiful is what she did. She just started. I happened to see it when I was researching this one, and she is on soap operas right now. She just started doing soap operas. Pen Farm Girl says, "Did she live at the end, Stanley?" I can't remember. She did. She did live at the end. She became a starship captain. Um, yeah. Is she bald or beautiful? I was going to go inappropriate there. So um, I'm not going to. General Hospital is the only soap for geeks, is what Pen Farm Girl says. Wait, what? We're getting a Starship Troopers sequel? No, you're getting a Starship Troopers TV show. There you go. Okay, I may need to rewatch. It's been too long. I think if you take a look on TBS or TNT, Pen Farm Girl, it might be playing on there. Usually it's heavy rotation. From what I understand, it's supposed to be live action, Andres Merrick. That's what I keep hearing. So, I mean, that was the whole gist of everything that Jake Busey was talking about. I'm actually pulling it up right now as we speak, live on the air, because that's what I do. There we go. So earlier today, HN Entertainment's blah blah blah. Busey says, I still train with Casper Van Dien. We still work out together. And if you look at my Instagram, you can see us working out at the gym. Casper has told me about conversations he's had with Ed. So, yes, I will corroborate that. Yes. Ed and Casper have been talking about a series, and they both expressed to me at this time they really want to be part of it. So, I think Casper and I would be older men in the battle, in the war room, in the planning room, or at the helm of a destroyer, but not necessarily boots on the ground. We're old guys now. If you're 45 years old, you're not going to be running around doing the boot camp thing, but yeah, a TV series would be great. So this was, and he has a picture of him and Casper Van Dien looking very old in the gym. I know exactly what that looks like because it's been a while, but anyway. And this is an older article. I actually had read something afterwards that said that yes, they are a go on this one. They both signed up for it, and that they are both going to be in it. So there you go. Live action is all you need right then and there. Yeah, Pen Farm Girl. I love Space Above and Beyond. It was one of my favorite shows that just ended on a cliffhanger. Yeah, Michael Ironside is awesome. Jake Busey, Casper Van Dien both need a moneymaker as they have nothing else going. Jake Busey was actually in From Dusk Till Dawn, the El Rey series, which has it's really good. I'm surprised. Season 3, it starts falling apart, but the first 2 seasons are really damn good. And he plays the character Sex Machine, not the Sex Machine that was played by. Now I'm just blanking on his name. Horror great Paul Savini. There we go. Tom Savini. Tom Savini. There we go. But he plays his own sex machine, if you will. and who's a professor and has been bitten. So that's all I'm going to say. And it's pretty funny. But yeah, that series it was a lot better than any right being, but it was actually pretty good. Yes, he was also in Agents of Shield. Yeah, and I can't believe Agents of Shield is still. Thankfully, it's ending after season 7. God. Andrej Merrick says, if they give me music like from Basil Poledouris with that Starship Troopers TV show, I'll give it a go. The only true sex machine I know is Bender Rodriguez. That's right. Hecho en Mexico. That's what it says on the bottom of his ass. And for those of you who don't know who Bender Rodriguez is, take a look at Futurama because it is the 20th anniversary of Futurama as well. Yeah, supposedly Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is tying back into the Marvel universe. Supposedly, who knows? Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I'm fairly sure more because this is how I'm sure Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will dovetail into How I Met Your Mother. And it'll be Maria Hill all along. Good God, man. Sorry, the neighbors are doing their shit outside again as normal. Alonzo Mack got a promotion on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, you know what? His character is not my favorite character. If anything, if any character was to die on the show, his character was. He's a little too judgy McJudgy for me, and I mean to the point where, he's like, "Oh no, I'm not going to judge, but you're going to hell for that one," and I'm like, "Dude, really? Can we just get that character off the show now?" He was only supposed to be a side character anyway. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his character. Sorry. Yo-Yo, on the other hand, I really like. So Andres Merrick says, if the Thanos snap was random 50%, had Thanos a 50-50 chance? Yes, supposedly he did. Yes. So there you have it. So I've run out of news because, like I said, it was a slow news week, as you could tell from the quality of the stuff I have here that I've given you. So I'm going to say this again. Sign up for DC Universe. You get, the first month for 80%. What's the shirt from Works? Specialty Tailoring. This is Enzo's Specialty Tailoring. Excuse me. This is actually from Venture Brothers. Enzo's Speed Suits. Yes. I missed the other guy, so got turned to rock. Yeah. You haven't gotten to yeah, Enzo's speed suits come out in God, when did they bring in Enzo? Enzo came in, they mentioned Enzo, I believe, in season 4, but you really don't see. No, I take that back. Season 3, but you don't see him until season 4. I believe it's the end of season 4, and then you have like an episode about him in season 5. Yes. Yes, the Tick is awesome. Oh, you're on season 2, Morks. Yeah. Yeah, if anyone hasn't watched the Venture Brothers and you love superheroes, Johnny Quest, sci-fi, comedy, all that kind of stuff, it's all wrapped up in there. And it's also wrapped up in really esoteric information. These guys who actually make the show, Doc Hammer and Jackson Public, have a wealth of random, obscure knowledge that they put into the show that is all real. So all the stuff that you see in the show is actually real stuff. Like testicular torsion is a real event that happens. Yes, there's all the whole thing about how the Guild of Calamitous Intent came into being. They go into a history of it. Is a real history of the fall of the Roman Empire and all this stuff. there. They do really esoteric stuff. It's very, very well done. Great writing, and it's something that I would love to see them go over to live action and do some live action stuff, but I don't know if they're going to end up doing it. Yes. Oh, well, Dr. Venture kind of stiffed Enzo on some suits. So, yes, testicular torsion is a real thing. Yes. Joker the Third says, I read somewhere Marvel already did Cap Marvel story with Quake on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, you mean the going back in time thing? I don't think so. It's yeah. Slurming Scott, you can ask Morks about the Roman Empire has fallen. It's fallen. I think he was alive back then. He has firsthand accounts. Yep, he saw it exactly. Oh, similarities, Joker the Third. Yeah, you know what? As what was it? Somebody said there are only 7 different stories in the world that they tell over and over and over again. Granted, it's not true. It really isn't, but it just seems like it. That's all. There are more than just 7 stories. Unless you're Admiral Whiskers, then it's all about vengeance. And you fuck with people's minds, you fuck with people's souls, and you fuck them in their heart too. I'm sorry, that just never gets old. It was really damn funny. If you haven't seen Doom Patrol episode 7 this week, it was pretty damn funny. That's all I can say. At the end, I mean, everything else leading up to it was just like, oh my god, this is actually pretty heavy for some stuff, but the end was pretty damn funny. So, with that said, I'm hitting, I believe, the hour and a half mark here, an hour and 15. So, yeah, I can go a little bit longer. Yeah, exactly. If you're not, Doom Patrol is one of the best things on there right now. So what am I going to be following here? So we have Happy. Happy I've already started on Wednesdays. Season 2 is up on Sci-Fi Channel. I'm finishing up Future Man. Future Man, the last episode of season 2, I'm going to be covering on Monday. Thursdays right now are open because it's not until April 15th that we get Gotham coming back. And Fridays, of course, is left for Doom Patrol. Saturdays is Saturday Morning Blast Off. And I'm thinking Game of Thrones comes out in April here as well, so that's going to be Sundays. There is also a show that's coming up on Cinemax on April 5th as well. So the Tick is going to be taking over Future Man's spot on Mondays. There's a show on Cinemax that was actually thought up by Bruce Lee, and his daughter found all his notes on it, called The Warrior, that I'm thinking of putting into either the Tuesday night slot or the Thursday night slot, since Gotham is, going to be vacillating here and there and leaving us, of course, as well. Cobra Kai season 2, yes, I will be covering that. Morks, and I believe that comes out next month, if I'm not mistaken. I can never remember, and I'm going to take a look at that right now, because why not? I'm on the air. And say season 2. And let's see when the release date is on that. April 24th. There we go. So, and April 24th is... When is April 24th? And of course, I love doing this on the air. Wednesdays. Oh, man. So that might end up being the Thursday night spot. Just because Wednesdays we already have Happy up there. So I can't have 2 shows on Wednesdays. Just will kill me. There's plenty of naked Malone online. You've heard. Okay. Christopher Maloney, is that who you're talking about? I haven't checked out Hannah yet. I know it's up on Amazon. I've been hearing that it's actually good. I'm going to check out the first episode. I'll see what it's like. So, yeah. Andres Marek says, did you do a vid comment about Love, Death, and I have not yet. It's like I said, it's really hard to do anthologies that drop all at once, especially on Netflix. It really is hard to do. I've been trying to figure out a way of doing it, trying to wrap my mind around it. And the only way of doing it, quite honestly, is kind of like what I do with Umbrella Academy, which is just to do it all at once. And I don't feel good about doing it all at once like that because it just kind of doesn't seem to do it justice, to tell you the truth. And then I forget a lot because I'm watching a lot. I'm doing a lot of different things, and my brain has become a sieve now at this point, and stuff flies out of my ears, my nose, my mouth, and other orifices willy-nilly. And I really don't know how to do a proper Netflix review of shows, to tell you the truth, other than just doing it all at once. So I may end up doing that, at some point, but there's a lot of other shows that are popping up now at this point that are going to fill the void. Oh, yeah. See, that would take a lot more time than I have, Andres Merrick, trying to order them from worst to best. And because I binged it all in one day. I really did. I went through and just went through them. Yeah. And I honestly couldn't tell you. I mean, I have some inkling of some things in my mind of which ones I liked and which ones I didn't, but I'll work on it. Okay. I will know more here next month, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow? No, Monday. Speaking of next month, everyone's been asking me about this. I'm probably going to start a Patreon as well next month and put that into play. I will let you guys know next Saturday morning blast off, if it's a go or not. All right. My favorite is the first one, then Lost in Space, then the werewolf. Yeah, I don't know which one. I can't remember which one my favorite is off of that. Again, I'd have to go through and take a look and see. I have to remind myself of what they were, what the episodes were, and I'd have to take a look at the episode order list. Like I said, I watch a lot of shit, a lot of stuff. There's a reason why I have a book. My downstairs neighbor, as a matter of fact, came up yesterday while I was in the middle of watching Doom Patrol because we were doing some. We're having some work done on both of our units here. And he saw me taking notes on Doom Patrol, and he started laughing. He goes, "You're taking notes on the show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's the only way I can keep track of it. Otherwise, I lose my mind if I do this." And try it because he knows that I do, what I'm doing here. And quite honestly, if I didn't take notes, I'd be like, yeah. I don't do super chat at the moment, Joe Greer, because I need to have 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours, as Pen Farm Girl just said. Yeah. Actually, if I have 4,000 hours of view time, they will review it even if I don't have the 1,000 subs, and I could end up getting super chat that way as well. I just looked at it today. I'm at roughly 2,500 hours of watch time at the moment. So, and I'm at 195 or 196 now subs. I guess someone just subbed in while I was online here. Yes, I know. I'm old too. I said while I'm online, while I'm on the interwebs. Does rewatching count? It might. I know it just goes by the total watch time. So yeah, if you watch, if you just watch it, sure. Yeah. So yeah, I'm at like 2460, 2490, something like that in hours of watch time. I was just looking at it before I came on earlier. So I was like, where am I at? because I had the same question. I'm like, so how long does it take me to get to super chat? Yeah, because I don't have two different channels running of different thousands of viewers. Which, by the way, you're not supposed to have because supposedly it violates the terms of agreement that we all signed up for on this. But Stanley Tweedle says, "What is the stream time for Future Man on Monday? Could you do it later in the day?" I do that at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's pretty much gets people for the East Coast because it falls around 9:30 p.m. for them. And it also allows me to get home from work, eat something, and watch and take notes at the same time. It is the last Future Man for season 2. Yes, that's the middle of the night for you, Stanley Tweedle. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I can't do it earlier in the day because I work. I have a day job. I can't do it later in the night because the East Coast people. I've got a lot of East Coast people too, so it kind of falls right in the nice time there. I mean, if I could do it like now, like 10 o'clock in the morning, that'd be great. But unfortunately, I have to do that for the weekends. Yeah. All around 9 o'clock p.m. Yeah, if I did it at 9 o'clock p.m., it would be midnight for everyone on the East Coast. Yeah, I know. Damn the day job. Slurmy Scott says, Stanley, so we are all together with you in the middle of the night, cozy. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Stanley. But, well, like I said, when I start doing Game of Thrones, I should get the East Coast feed on that one. So what is that? That would be 6 p.m. my time, which means I would get on at the late. Oh, I think they're 2-hour episodes. Oh my god! So if that's the case, yeah, I don't know. I have to see how that's going to play out on that one. About what the timing is going to be on Sundays for that. Because if it's 6 p.m. my time and it's 2-hour episodes, that ends at 8, which means even if I do the prep, early on and all that stuff, and I get on at 8:15, that is still going to be 11 o'clock for some of you guys on the East Coast, 11 p.m. Well, yeah, 11:15 p.m. I don't know if that's going to cut it, if people are going to be able to make it or not, but at 3 a.m., can I do it at 3 a.m.? Not unless I want to sleep for work the next day. Penn Farm Girl says not 2 hours. I think I've heard 65 to 85 minutes each, unless that's changed. Okay, that's still an hour and a half. I mean, still, you're looking at like a 10:30, 10:45 start time for everyone on the East Coast for when I do it. Oh no, your 6 p.m. is my 3 a.m. Okay, got it. Got it, Stanley. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's a day job thing, man. If I was independently wealthy, yes, I could do this anytime in the middle of the day and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't. And I'm also going to sleep at some point in time. And I got a little dog that keeps looking at the door right now and is looking at me, then looks at the door, then looks at me, then looks at the door, looks at me, then looks at the door. Stormy Scott says, yeah, there would be 11 p.m. for the East Coast, and Sunday people go to bed early. Exactly. Stanley Tweedle says the first 2 episodes are around 60 minutes, and the rest are supposed to be about 80 minutes. Yeah. Exactly. So the 60-minute ones are fine. I mean, I can get up and running at 7:15, which means it'd be 10:15 on the East Coast for you guys that are out on the East Coast. And usually I'm trying to keep the hour-long episodes at around half an hour maximum. on that. I found that when I'm doing reviews, if I go over half an hour, if I go into like the hour-long territory for some of those, if I go longer than the episodes actually run, people don't, they tune out of it. And I understand. I don't want to listen to somebody ramble on about an episode for an hour if they're just going to be bullshitting for most of the time, like some other channels that might be out there. I just want to keep it concise and on the point. I don't want to go off into different tangents and different topics. I want to kind of keep it on topic, usually for that show. That's the other thing that I kind of do with this channel. I had another one early on, Mark. You must have missed it. Actually, I had one about 10 minutes ago that I did. Yes. Is Mork's channeling Fanobi? That sounded like something he would say. They are brain melded. They really are. Oh, you noticed the earlier jab Viking bitch? I'm glad somebody did. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't sitting right with me. It still isn't. So that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, I like to keep it on topic, especially when I'm talking about shows. I really don't want to go off topic and get lost in the weeds because honestly, it gets boring for people. And also, my ass can only take so much. I mean, even though I'm in a nice little ergonomic chair here, which you can't see, but it's still, it hurts my ass after a while sitting here for that long. Oh, wow. That was kind of interesting. I got a stupid phone call right in the middle from a spam caller right in the middle of a stream. That's always nice. Yes, the ass needs a rest. Exactly. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. But anyway, let me get some business out of the way here. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the like button. If you don't like what you see, hit the dislike button. I asked if you hit the dislike button, go down in the comments down below. Tell me what it is you don't like. Give me a little constructive criticism so I know what to fix. All right. After that, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again, you can hit the little bell. If you've already hit the bell, don't hit it again. It will disengage it. The bell should let you know when I'm going to be on live again. You have a 50-50 chance of that actually happening, of YouTube actually notifying you of that. If you're still on the fence about that, you can always take a look up here. There's going to be a video that is going to pluck a video from my video library that best matches your viewing rhythm, I guess you could say. It takes all the algorithm. YouTube takes all the algorithms of what you've been watching and plucks a video from my video library that's best suited for you. If you like what you see there, then hit the subscribe button. That's going to be over in this area someplace. My schedule is going to be up on suspendedfanimation.com. It's also up on Facebook. I have a Facebook page up there, and I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Instagram as well. So there we go. Are we talking about Doom Patrol? I already did talk about Doom Patrol, Stanley Tweedle. I have an entire podcast list of nothing but Doom Patrol talking about it. And it's some good stuff. I don't like usually putting spoilers in this one about stuff. I like to keep this spoiler free and just about genre stuff, unless stuff has already come out. Oh, you meant the ass needs a rest. There we go. No, the ass in Doom Patrol never needs a rest. That's where the universe resides. Yeah, it's just my ass. And the little dog is down for the count. No, she gave up and just put her head down on the pillow and passed out again. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the day. Take a look at the video up here. Take a look at the subscribe button over here. Hit that. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Oh, thank you, everybody, by the way, in the chat as well. Thank you, Ed Brewer, Stanley Tweedle, Scuple Letter Out by Viking Bitch, Slurmy Scott, Movie Fanopi, who was in here earlier. Happy birthday, Penn Farm Girl, and Batman. Morks, thank you very much. Andres Merrick, I know you were in here too. There's a couple other people as well. Joe Greer the third. I know I said Stanley Tweedle already. And I think that was about it of the people that I saw in here that said anything anyway. So thank you, everybody. Again, take a look at the videos, hit the subscribe button, and don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may be like Pepper and just start looking at me and see when the hell we're going to go to the bathroom. Good night, everybody, or good day. Have a good afternoon.